All right, after lunch lull a little bit. Good stuff. Well, hopefully we'll get the slides going up here soon, but I'm here today to talk to you about the question that a lot of us don't ever get to address in our Greek membership as an undergrad, the question of whether or not we're relevant. And that, what I'm talking about is, do other people think we're relative? The fact that there's so many people here at this conference and the fact there's so many people here in this room today shows me that this is a meaningful experience. We have so many leaders out there that want to make this better, but no one else sees that. Only we see that. How do we take that back to our campus and be able to show that this really matters? What if it's not you, it's me applied in this situation? If people don't think we're relevant because they don't see stuff like this, where we get together and we do really great things. What if we're not relevant because they just don't understand what we do? We have to address this in our reach and our appeal. In our reach, I want to ask you first, think about on an average day, how many non-Greek students do you interact with versus how many Greek students do you interact with? What's that ratio look like when you think about it? We have to realize that we represent our organizations whether all day long, whether we want to or not. And when we do service events, it's great. We help the community. We walk dogs. We rake leaves. We do big things too. But those aren't the students' leaves. Those aren't other students' dogs we're walking. We don't do events oftentimes that are relevant to the average student. Greek Week is a perfect example of this. Greek Week is like the best week of the year, right? I loved Greek Week when I was undergrad. But how many non-Greek students attend Greek Week events? My campus, 0. I'm sure a lot of them, maybe you do have some, but we put up this wall of us and them. And we don't mean to. We're just having such a good time being Greek that we can't help it. We get wrapped up in the experience of being the best Greek members we can be, that there's this wall between us. We have to work towards redefining community in terms of our campus. Community isn't just what service events we do for the town, for the townies or locals. We have to realize that the people on our campus, the other non-Greek students, are our community. And what do we do that's relevant to them? How do we impact their lives on campus? Concerning appeal, I want to go on a really big tangent, and so follow me if you can, but whenever you leave college and get a job, as I did a couple years ago, you're going to fall into one of 3 categories of types of jobs you're going to work for. There's kind of like the corporate world, Fortune 500 company, your job for the status. You're going to work at a big building, have a high salary. You're going to work that hierarchy ladder and work your way up, try to make a bunch of money. Everyone's there. Everyone's in it for the money and the status. Then there's like the complete opposite of that. There's a startup company. Something about an idea. Someone had a really great idea, and they're going to work towards building that. Those companies are like the most coveted jobs today because those jobs offer like free lunch, work when you want to, free everything, take whatever vacation you want to. But 99% of us end up in jobs that are just some mishmash of both of that. Not quite exactly one, not quite exactly the other. We're somewhere in between. But that's where 99% of our chapters and councils are too. We're not one thing or another. We're a little bit of both. We're not quite status-oriented because we don't have unlimited resources to get people to do whatever we want to and work for us because we have this awesome status and they can just do things because we're success-built machines. We're also not like a startup where we have this amazing idea that who wouldn't want to follow it. There's a mishmash of in between. We're somewhere in the middle, and that's okay. But we have to think about, idealistically, which is better. A News Corp who owns MySpace is currently running it into the ground, and Facebook has become a verb. Two companies doing the same thing, one failed, one succeeded. So my point to you today is that we need to think like a startup. We need to have big ideas, and we need to think beyond constraints of what we're currently doing or what resources we have, and think about what if. Ask yourself, what if we could do blank? What would that look like? We need to think big. So what should you take out of this 5-minute conversation? And I want you to realize that relevancy, while it's what other people think about us, it's our problem to address. We have to be the ones to deal with it, and if we do nothing, that's no one's fault but our own. We have to work and create ideas. We have to think beyond what we can normally do. We have to use things from this conference, meet people, network, and come up with something that's going to make people want to believe in what we do. But at the same time, we have to realize that people see action. And it does you no good to have a great idea if you can't follow it up with an action plan. And oftentimes it's not what to do that's hard, it's how do you get that done. So my advice to you is to think things through. Think out an action plan before you begin with this great idea you may get from this conference, because you have to be able to inspire people through your actions and your ideas. So last, I want to leave you just with the fact that whenever you have a vision for something, people believe in it because you're genuine and they can see that you believe in it. Thank you.